Yo guys, I'm back with another video for Trails of Cold Steel 3. So here, I'll give you some tips and kind of tricks that I use for winning in Vantage Masters. So Vantage Masters replaces Blade from Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2. So Blade, as you remember, was kind of a 50-50 game. There was some strategy into it, but not a whole lot. Vantage Masters is basically like a whole card game full of strategy. So we're going to take a little bit closer look into the deck. So your deck is comprised of 20 cards and a master card. This is the most important card, your master card, in the game. Masters are split in these columns over here. As you can see, at this point I don't have all the masters, so I'm still playing through the game a little bit, but they tell you what you can do right here. So typically you want a master with good HP, which is the shield, and good attack. So that's how much attack it has. The orbs is how much orbs you start off with in the game, which allows you to summon different cards into battle with you right now. So as you see, I use the Soldier. Right now, the Soldier is probably the best card in the game for early gameplay wise, just because it has 3 attack, 30 defense, and its ability allows, if you use it, all cards in your field gain 1 attack. Early game, you're gonna most likely use this one since it's what you start off with. I wouldn't suggest using anything else other than Soldier until you get it. You can use the Archer if you want, because you start with 2 orbs and you can attack from the back. But for the most part, Soldier is going to carry you through the game until you get Shinigami or the Ogre. So what makes the Shinigami and the Ogre really good is Ogre starts off with like 6 attack and 40 HP, which is ridiculous, and its ability allows you to draw 1 card. Shinigami, on the other hand, allows you to do 1 damage to everything in the front row, and if you get any kills with the Shinigami, its attack goes up by 1. So, and I believe that's a 3 attack, 27 defense card. So those two are probably the best masters in the game. I don't have them yet. So we're going to talk about what you want to do for your other cards. Typically, I'm going to go through what I like to use. I personally like these. I play 3 of these. They're basically any card you put by it gets defended. So if you have your master card, you place your master card next to this one, it gets 100% defended. So I like that a lot. Personally, I like using it. You can swap this out at any time if you feel like it. But you want a good balance of low-level cards to play at the beginning of the game, and a bunch of high-level cards later on once you have a full meter. So right here is another card that I like to have. So when this card gets destroyed, you get to draw another card. So it's basically a one for one. It's very, very good. If you notice over here, cards like this have an archer symbol, so that means they can attack from the back row. I'll show you all of this and how it plays out shortly. I typically like to run at least 3 archers in your cast, which I have over here, 3 of them. Doesn't really matter what color it is. And you always want some big dudes in the end. These 6 cost ones, so typically I like to run the 6 and 5 over here. You can go with the 6 and 8 over here. It really depends on what you want or what's available to you. So now we're going to our last category, which is magic. So the monsters, you'll see the weaknesses on the bottom right, which is the white beats ground, whatever it is. Ground beats water, water beats fire, fire beats white, whatever. So I like to typically run these crystals. These crystals are very good early games. They give you 1 monster, plus 1 HP, and plus 1 attack, and it guarantees you an orb. I also tend to like to run this since it gives your monster plus 2 attack. So generally, your deck we want to have it look around like here. This typically a couple weak monsters, at least 6 of them. Get some 2 powerful ones. Right over here, I technically actually have 5 because I want to build meter. I try to meter burn this as fast as possible. You can run stall decks with the penguin right over here and this right here. You can run stall decks. I typically don't like doing that because it's not offensively winning, and you'll notice later on some of the stronger players have more offensively oriented decks. So this right here is again, I'm versing Ash right here. This is probably one of the hardest fights in the game, seeing as how Ash has the Shinigami. So every time that thing kills a monster on my side, he gains a +1 attack. So at the beginning of the game, you can choose which cards you want to keep in your hand. Since these are all very high cards, you don't want to keep them. Possibly you want all low-end cards. Hopefully I'll get something. Sweet, that's a very good hand first turner. So as you see, since his Shinigami has 4 orbs, he starts off with 4, and I start off with 2 because my soldier is only 2. So typically, the soldier is very good till you get the Shinigami or Ogre at some point. So he's probably gonna activate his ability. Yep. So his ability does 1 damage to me no matter what, and if that kills somebody, he gains 1 attack. So his field gets starting to get very, very tough. Yeah. Right there, like this deck is like literally. Most important part of your deck is always your master card. It doesn't matter anything else other than your master card. Alright, I got a very powerful card early on. Probably could have... no need to worry about that. Hold off onto that card for next turn, actually. So typically, one of your best strategies in this game is to constantly just power up your main master card. So your opponent gets very, very scared to attack it. But right now he's just trying to whittle mines away right now because if you double down in this game, it's a draw. So even if you both get to 0, you make sure it's just a loss on your end. So he did something very smart where I can't activate my blue dude right over here because if I do use this to suicide against his master card, he gains 1 attack. So he's always at the advantage. So I actually don't mind suiciding it just for 1 damage. Okay, no, I was wrong. If it's in the back row, his ability doesn't work. Because you have to notice that there's a back row and a front row. In the back row, archers can attack from the back row, but most cards can't attack from the back row directly. And there's some nuances with some of the abilities where you can't do it for certain roles or whatever. And you see the weapon triangle right there on the top. They have certain advantages each one. And every so often these crystals will spawn, and you kind of want to just use your master card for it as well too. So I'll show you. I want to see if I can beat Ash because this was actually a hard fight, just because of his master. So with that, my dude gets. Oh, I don't have enough. To summon anything else. I just use his ability, get everyone +1 attack. And typically, you always want to destroy your opponent's monsters over attacking their master, just so they don't have anything. So once again, this card, the reason I like it because once you destroy something, you get 1 attack with it as well too. So typically, there's not a whole variety of cards in this game. You just kind of this is what I like to use personally. I've been able to beat most of the hard fights in this game quite easily. And one of the hardest fights early on in this game is facing Zephyr's boss in VM Masters. It's actually a very tough fight, contrary to what people believe. Alrighty, I can play this. Buff up my master to 10. I still have enough for yeah, I still have enough for that. So yep. See, I think this pretty much should be it actually. If my math is correct. 8. Oh yeah, this is over. There we go. That's probably one. We beat a high level master. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, please.